Hi, everybody. This is Melanie Marie Boyer, the director of the Pittsburgh Metropolitan Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. And today we're going to be discussing the Paycheck Protection Program, how to qualify, apply, and get assistance that you need to make sure that your application is completed accurately so that you have the best shot of qualifying and receiving. Today, we're here with Miguel Alban. He is the Senior Vice President and Director of Multicultural Banking with Customers Bank, who we're partnering with to bring you a streamlined portal that will go through, make sure that you've applied correctly, that everything is accurate, that all of the pieces are there, and not only that, but to give you assistance in both English and Spanish one-on-one. Miguel, hello. It is nice to see you today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Melanie, for having me in your show. It's a pleasure to be here. Customers Bank is a proud to offer this to everybody, and I was happy to connect with you.
Well, thank you. I want to tell everyone a little bit about Customers Bank and how you guys processed applications last time. You were one of very few companies to partner with a fintech company to make sure that you had this portal, which actually, for anyone who doesn't know, Customers Bank was the number 5 processor of PPP loans within the first PPP, which was $5.5 billion. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that process before we go into the questions and why you guys are different from other banks?
Absolutely. Customers Bank, I don't know if everybody is aware of Customers Bank, but we are located right in Pennsylvania. We serve offices across the Mid-Atlantic region. We are a small local community bank, and last year we had the pleasure of serving, as you said, so many small business owners with their PPP loan applications in a very unique way. First of all, we understood that the need was going to be big. A lot of banking institutions were obviously first attending their current customers. Also, the labor involved with processing a PPP loan application is very intense. However, the willingness of our bank was to serve as many individuals as we can. We did not discriminate if they were customers of ours or not. We didn't look at a size loan. We knew that everybody was going to need this. So what we did is we created a hybrid model, if you will, with fintech corporations in order to streamline the process in a very smooth and easy way. And the fintechs helped us with the platform to be able to process a lot of the PPP loans. As you mentioned, we did about over $5 billion in PPP loans, and we became the number 5 in the nation. People will say how this small bank from Reading, Pennsylvania was able to do so many PPP loans. A lot of work ethic. We have a tremendous SBA department. We knew what we were doing, and also the partnership with the fintechs helped a lot to do the process.
I love that. Actually, why we're here today, because you're partnering with the chamber so that we can provide people with that portal so that they can go through this streamlined process. And for those of you who want to check that out, we are going to get into questions, but go to our website, www.pmahcc.org. And right up there at the top, you can click and you can get it set up to get a notification when that opens, probably around the end of this week. But I know you guys are here for some information, and Miguel is just a wealth of knowledge. So what is it that businesses need to qualify for the PPP this time around?
So as you know, PPP loan, it's a program that comes from the SBA department for the government. It's basically done, and last year it was done to cover, as the name says, protection for the payroll. So small businesses could support the payroll of their employees that they have. They also were able to use the money for rent. They were able to use the money for to pay for mortgage interests, utility expenses. But this year, The SBA has kind of increased the box of what these people could be using this money. So in besides using the money for the payroll, for the rent, for the mortgage interest, for utilities and all this stuff, they could also use the money for personal protective equipment and workplace construction. So if you need to adjust your business, or you need to buy some personal protective equipment because of the coronavirus, or you need to adapt your place or your restaurant or your anything to adapt to the health and safety guidelines, you could use the PPP loan for that as well. To help with software, human resources, accounting needs, we know everybody's working from home, so you can use as well that piece of the money as well. As you probably aware, last year there were some disruptions with the protest happening. So if you suffer property damage due to these protests or disturbances during 2020 that were not protected with insurance that you probably have in your places, you could use this loan for that as well. And of course, you can use for business supplies that would have been consumed and expensed if the operations of your business would have continued as normal. So those are the eligible expenses that the SBA have been adding to the rules. So everybody knew that, okay, I can use this money to pay my people for payroll, but all these will be also this time eligible expenses.
Wow, that's quite an expansion. That's really fascinating.
Yes, yes. A lot of our questions that we usually get is, how much will I qualify for, right? How much money can I actually borrow? Um, so it is a calculation. So it's usually 2.5 your monthly payroll. So just to give you an example, let's say we have a business that spends $15,000 monthly in average monthly payroll, 15,000. They will be able to qualify for 2.5 that amount. So multiplying 15,000 plus 2 is 30,000 plus 7.5. So they will be able to qualify for about 37,500, 37,500. So the calculation is that you will qualify 2.5 times your average monthly payroll. Um, However, as I mentioned earlier, you could use that money for the other eligible expenses as well. And there is a limit, so there is a top, is the loan could not exceed $2 million.
Wow. Okay. And what about in terms of documentation and things that you actually need to apply?
Sure. So what are the eligibility rules, right? Who's able to apply, who's eligible to apply? Previous PPP loan borrowers, okay, if you applied already for a PPP loan, and then you run out of the money, you could apply again. So if you got it the first time, you could apply. If you're new, you could apply. It has to have fewer than 300 employees. So businesses with 300 employees or less. Uh, and this is important, who can demonstrate a minimum reduction, okay, of 25% in the gross receipts of your business, okay? So you're gonna need to show a 25% reduction in your gross income receipts, okay? And how you compare this, you can compare it trimester. So it could be, um, if you look at the first quarter, how you did in the first quarter of 2019, or in the second quarter of the same year, 2019, you compare it to the same quarter of 2020. But you need to show that in the first quarter of last year, 2020, you had 25% reduction in your gross income from the same quarter, first quarter of 2019. 2019, if it wasn't because of the coronavirus. I don't know if people are understanding that. You can compare quarter by quarter, right? And you can also, you have to prove, or you can also do it if you have a 25%, again, reduction of the gross receipts for the full year, okay, for the full year. So if you had a business that worked all the 2019 year, because you've been in business, for a long time. So you say, okay, in the year 2019, I did X amount of gross income. How did I do last year in 2020? If you can prove that you had 25% reduction of your overall gross receipts, you will be able to apply. Again, how much? You will be able to apply for 2.5 your average monthly payroll up to $2 million. And it's also, Melanie, important that this time as well is going to include self-employed people. If you're a contractor with a 1099, you can apply. If you work on your own, you can apply. And some of the nonprofits could also apply.
Wow. Okay, that's really interesting. So that's pretty different from last time, but all of the things that you need to provide are not any greater as far as documentation. Is that right?
Now you're gonna need to have your it's a form called 990. You need to have your 990, your 991. You're gonna need to prove somehow to the government that, okay, this is how I keep track. I have, all my payroll, documentation. When you file your tax return, you're gonna need to enter. So when you go on this site, you're gonna need to enter the name of your business, where are you located, probably how many years you've been in business, and then it's gonna guide you through. And that is the beautiful thing about partnering with a fintech. That is gonna be we've done it, so it's very self-explanatory. When people will go through this, it's going to ask them a simple questions. It's going to guide them through this platform online. I need to disclose this platform is going to be in English, okay? Because that's what we do. But
the assistance.
But there's going to be a chat available in Spanish. People can pick up the phone and call them. People will return their call. We're going to be involved at some point as well. So yes, even though the application process will be done in English, there's going to be a system absolutely in Spanish as well.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that process, but I first want to say that these are things that all business owners have. You need it for your taxes, you need it for your books, and the way that the process is set up will walk you right through. So if you were intimidated last time, I know there were people who were just worried for different reasons about not applying. There is no reason to not apply and take a chance. So let's talk a little bit about let's talk about that application process and why this system is different and why it is beneficial.
Sure. Before, Melanie, I was going to tell you, I forgot. There is a special rule for businesses that fall under the industry of hospitality. Okay, if your business falls under the rules of hospitality business, which is under Sector 72 of the NAICS, how you classify the industry of your business. It could be the food service, if it's a food service business or if it's a hotel. So if your business falls under Sector 72, you will be able to qualify for 3.5 the monthly payroll. Remember, I told you earlier it was a 2.5 for the monthly payroll. If you fall under the Sector 72, your maximum amount you qualify for, it will be 3.5 times. So again, you will calculate the average monthly payroll of your business and you multiply 3.5 that amount up to $2 million.
Awesome. You know what? I love that you have the numbers so clearly. And this is information that we're going to be sending out. If you haven't already registered for our newsletter and things, make sure to check out our website, which I'll put up later. But we will have all of this going out in emails in case you're missing anything or you can't take notes. But let's talk a little bit about how we're partnering. So for those of you who don't know, we are going to have a portal open to any business who wants to apply for the PPP. And basically, it's going to be an online portal where you can get on and it will walk you step by step through the process. So you are not going to be able to move forward and submit your application if you don't have everything in, which I'm not sure if you're aware, but so many businesses missed out on this opportunity last time around because either they didn't apply, the paperwork wasn't done correctly, they didn't have everything in, and that was money that was left on the table that we need for our communities to get through COVID, keep everyone employed. And Miguel is going to tell us a little bit more about why that is such a streamlined process and how it can help you.
Sure. Because of our awesome success, Melanie, that we had as a bank last year, helping so many business owners, this year around, our leadership decided to help as many small business owners as we can. So we decided to share our secret sauce, if you will, with everybody else that we can. So, however, our bandwidth is just big enough that we would like to partner with organizations like yours to be able to reach out to as many business owners as we can. So what's going to happen is we're going to partner with you guys. We're going to create a landing page site. People will be able to go into this link that you will be provided, Melanie, so you can share with your members and everybody else that wants to benefit from the PPP loan. They're going to be able to go and click on this link. This link is going to take them to a website, okay? The website will have the Hispanic Chamber of Pittsburgh logo there and our logo. And then basically it is a page that will walk them through the entire PPP loan application. They're going to have to enter, first of all, they're going to have access to the internet. They're going to have to have a computer connected because it is a website. They need to make sure they have in their computer where they're using their necessary documents needed because the website is going to require them to upload the documentation. But it's as easy as it sounds. They're going to be able to go in and enter the name of the business, where they are located, what industry they are. They're going to be asked for how much they're going to be applying for. That is why it is important for them to know their monthly average payroll cost, because the website is going to ask them how much loan are you applying for, and they have to enter again. If they are under hospitality industry under Section 72, they're going to have to multiply the average monthly payroll plus and multiply that by 3.5. Okay, and any other business will have to multiply that by 2.5. So when the site asks you for how much money are you applying for, you already know that number in your head. Okay, I'm going to enter that. And then you go through the process. This site will guide you through, and it's going to say, upload, your returns for 2019. Now, remember, they have to match, right? They have to match. You cannot put that your payroll it is $1 million, and if your payroll shows only 100,000. So they're going to have to match. Make sure that what you're putting is real. Unfortunately, last year we saw a lot of fraud involved. People wanted to take advantage of the system. And because so many businesses are doing the same, at the beginning, it's not very easy to track who's being honest or not. But trust me, many people got caught, and you don't want to do that. So again, we're going to provide a link to your organization that you can share with everybody, Melanie, and they're going to be able to see you there. So they're going to know it is a trust site. They can go and enter documentation because they're going to see your name there, and it's going to see our name, Customers Bank, and then they just go through the process. if at some point they say, oh, I got stuck with this, I don't know what to put, and what do I do? The website have a chat box that you can just ask questions. It's gonna say chat with me. You can just ask questions. Say, hey, I'm on the step one. Let's say, what do I do? It's asking me to do this. Can you guide me through? People will be available to chat live with you.
Y en español.
Y en español también, yes. Or you can just pick up your phone and call. There's going to be a number there. We have sufficient amount of people to be able to service. Even though we don't expect, to be honest, a lot of this, because the online platform is very easy to do. There's always, and help will be available.
So I know a lot of people went to different banks and they were told, oh, you're not a customer of ours, or we're only doing larger ones, or, et cetera. All of these different reasons for not processing. Why is it that Customers Bank is different in this way?
Yes, we did it last year as well. So last year, you can imagine how many customers from other banks would come to me and say, Miguel, I need help. I've been putting at the end of the line. My current bank, even Melanie, their current banks that people were banking for 25 years, they were told, you gotta wait, you didn't make the first round, you have to go to the second round. Again, you need to understand that this, even though it's a lot of work, it is still, at the end of the day, it is a business for the banks. The work of handling a PPP loan, especially the forgiveness part, is a lot of work. So for a lot of banks, wasn't even worth it, right? Was not, I'm going to do a lot of work, but then the fee I'm going to make as a bank is too small. That is more the work that I'm going to be doing for the fee. So a lot of banks decided to only do the larger loans, right? The larger the loan amount, the better for the bank, because it's a more profit. We took a different approach. We knew that because we are a small community bank, we needed to help the community. It's the right thing to do, it's the right business model to do. And again, last year, we didn't discriminate if they were customers or not. We helped a lot of individuals that were not customers of us, and we did not require them to, as a condition for them to be with us, to be a customer. We didn't have to do that. Many of them, the majority of them, in gratitude for our help, decided to become then our customers afterwards. But it was not something that would say, oh, you need to be a customer or anything. We were just helping a lot of people. And in this time, because of the success that we had last year, our CEO decided that it is a time for us to step back again, step up again, and say, okay, who needs help? Let's help as many as we can. Minority business is very important with us. That is the reason why we have a multicultural division here, to help all these multicultural groups, Hispanics, the African American, the Asian American. It's very important to our values. Is the right thing to do. And we just hope that everybody is able to be helped this time.
Yeah, no, that's great. I think we all know the numbers, especially for the disadvantaged communities. We're a little bit different. So we're hoping to eliminate all the barriers and help everyone have an equal playing field with this program. So we really want to thank you for it. For those people who did not apply last time, kind of a general question for anyone who's watching, who maybe this is your first time applying for the PPP, can you tell them, do they have to pay this money back?
Sure, that's a good question. The PPP loan is a loan that the government will forgive, meaning you do not have to pay the money back if you use the money for the purposes I just mentioned to you. Okay. You cannot take the money and go on a vacation to the Caribbean. You have to use the money for the reasons that I just mentioned, especially pay your employees, take care of the rent, utilities. to protect your business from coronavirus stuff, you have to use. That is the whole purpose. Again, many people will take advantage of the situation, but if you really use the money for what the money is supposed to be used, the money will be forgiven, and my bank will be able to help as well. So this streamlined process we're offering through you guys, through Chamber, Melanie, includes the forgiveness portion of the loan, which is another different story. So we're going to help them through the application, funding, servicing the loan, and eventually they're going to hear from us when forgiveness times occur. Okay, now is your time to forgive your loan. Meaning, if you do what we tell you you should do, your loan will be forgiven. You don't have to pay it back. But it is important for them to use the money, and you also have a certain period of time, which at this time, if you ask me, what's the period of time, I do not know. We will be communicating that information to everybody, all the rules of the SBA, but they're gonna have X amount of time to use the money for the PPP loans. I mean, since you qualify usually for 2.5 months of payroll, I am assuming will be your money need to be used in 2.5 months. But again, that communication will be, but you have to save your receipts. So if you pay rent with the money, if you pay utilities, if you establish in your business some protective equipment, you put glass shields, all the stuff need to be proven because you're going to need to show receipts of the use of the money. If you don't have anything, you're going to say, yes, I use the money for this, but okay, how do you prove it, right? We saw you in Aruba. So that is important.
Okay, well, that is great advice. We do have a couple more questions, but I want to just say for the audience, I know there are some people who have been watching the whole time. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. We will be addressing those questions at the end, and you can always add things even if we're not live, and we'll always circle back and check with you and make sure that all of your questions are answered. Be sure to go to our website, pmahcc.org. Right at the top, you'll see a thing so that you can get notified when this streamlined portal does open. It is one of the easiest ways to apply for the PPP that walks you right through and ensures accuracy. So we'll be taking a look for those comments. But Miguel, when can people apply? When did it start, and when do applications end?
Good question. So that's where we are working with your organization, Melanie, to finalize the portal. I will expect the portal for you guys, for your specific organization, to be ready to go by Friday. Your link will be available. You can put the link on your website. You can share that link with your members of your organization. And the window goes to March 31st. So you need to get ready right now, okay? The money is there. The government, the SBA, has set aside a good amount of money especially for minority business owners. So you don't need to worry about that. The site will be available in a few days. Just get everything ready. Get all the documents ready that you need. All the information you find in Google, to be honest. You can Google PPP loan. It's going to be available, ready to go. You can go to the SBA website and find the rules. It's all over the internet. And then you're going to have until March 31st to be able to apply for this loan.
Okay, yeah, that is, sorry, I'm on the wrong tab. March 31st. So that's plenty of time, especially with the way that this process works. You get walked through it, and like you explained afterwards, the bank does keep them going through the process. And if you spend the money the way that you're supposed to, it will be forgiven. Before we go to questions, are there any questions that you came across with business owners that you think are important to address right now?
No, basically just an advice is do not be afraid of trying to apply. I'm not saying we cannot promise as institutions, we cannot promise that your loan will be approved, will be, because again, there are so different rules, and these are rules imposed by the SBA, which belongs to the government. We're the platform that the SBA uses to facilitate the money to the businesses. So you have to follow those rules. If you follow the rules and you have the proper documentation, not only for application, but also for forgiveness, you will be good. You will be good. The government is doing their best that they can, partnering with banks. We're not the only bank involved. If you feel comfortable with your current bank and you know that they will help you with their PPP because they helped you the first time, go ahead with them. It's okay. We don't have to have these customers bank. We're just here to help as many people as we can. But again, there are other financial institutions also doing this. We're pretty good. We're pretty good. We became there's one reason why we became the number 5 in the country last year in originating PPP loans. We know what we're doing, and we'll be happy to help, even if you're not a customer of us. But just be ready. Be ready. Don't be afraid. Ask questions. Ask your chamber of commerce. Join the chamber. But be active. We're not gonna be knocking on your door. If you need something, you need to find out. Use the internet. I know everybody's on their phone, so I know if you're on Facebook, you have access to also information on your PPP loan. So the phone is not only for tweeting or Facebook or all this stuff or TikTok, Snapchat, right? It says get educated about the PPP and get, and you have to take the steps in order to be there. It's gonna be a little bit of work, but everything is a little bit of work. If you don't have anything, you say, well, I don't have a way to document anything. It's like any other loan, right? You can go to a bank and say, hey, bank, I make X amount of money like this year. I need a loan. Okay, I'm going to need how you prove that you make that. No, I don't have anything. Loan will tell you I can now give you the money. Same thing is going to happen with the PPP. You're going to have some documentation.
Yeah, and I want to emphasize something that you said. Do not be afraid of this. So you have nothing to lose, especially when you're doing this online portal application. You're not having to go anywhere and risk anything. Like I said, it's a step-by-step process that will walk you through and tell you everything you need. If you don't have it right away, you can save and then keep going later. It's not something where you're going to have to sit down and do it all in one shot. So it really is making the process as easy as possible. And as a reminder, support is available one-on-one in both English and in Spanish. The application is in only English, but you have that phone support, you have the text chat. So there are lots of options available at the chamber. And I know the Pittsburgh Hispanic Development Corporation is also available for your help. The local SBA, there are so many resources. There is no reason to leave the potential of this money on the table if you have had the losses in the last year. You do not have to take the loss. This is tax money that's coming back from you, the taxpayer. So there's no shame or anything. So I just want to emphasize that. I've heard a lot of different things about it, and those were some of the reasons people didn't apply. So I wanted to speak on that. Let's see really quick. Does anyone have any questions? We did such a good job. I don't see any questions as of right now. Is there anything else that you want to add before we wrap up?
No, other than just I appreciate the offer to be here. Again, we have a wonderful SBA department, Customers Bank. I am in charge of multicultural banking. I'm in charge of reaching out to as many minority-owned businesses as we can. That's our mission this time of year. We want to help you. And also, Melanie, if after this you get any questions, please don't hesitate to send them to me. I'll be happy to respond as many as we can. I don't know all the answers, but again, I have a great team of people that probably know more than me. I'll be happy to find the answers for you guys. Again, the first step is to get your things organized, make a decision that you're going to apply, make up your mind of how much you know you should apply for, you will qualify. But yeah, I mean, other than that, we'll be happy to help.
So as a reminder, Program will be available probably Friday, if not early next week. But if you go to pmahcc.org, you can sign up to get an email notification for when the portal does open. We do have a question. Ivan, who is actually the president of the chamber, he wants to know, is this only available to those applying in Pennsylvania?
No. So it's a great question, Ivan. No, this is not only for those in Pennsylvania. We are offering this service across the country. Again, Customers Bank, even though we're headquartered in Pennsylvania, we have offices in many states. But our PPP loan program is being used from many institutions like yours all across the country. We have a partnership agreements with people in New York, Long Island, Chicago, Washington, D.C. No, this is available to everybody.
Oh, there's really no limit to the help that you guys are doing. You're not limiting it to the size of business, the size of a loan, whether they're your customers, where they're located, but are there any limits on that?
No, they're not. The only limit will be the maximum amount of loan that they will qualify for the loan. But from our end, we're able to help. We're willing to help anybody. Don't think, oh, my loan is going to be very small. What about that, right? It doesn't matter. We understand that anything helps. So do not be afraid or ashamed or anything. If you feel that you deserve to apply for an X amount, it doesn't matter how small it is. You deserved it. You work hard for it, and we understand that you're a small business owner. So we don't expect the loan to be millions of dollars. So it's okay to apply.
Well, I love that. Thanks so much for partnering with us on this. We really feel that it's important, as we always talk about, the numbers were so skewed as to the number of small businesses, disadvantaged, underrepresented businesses. And we want to make sure to even the playing field and give everyone the resources that they need to get the money that we know that our economy needs during these difficult times. So thank you for playing a crucial role in helping us do that and helping our community. You are very much appreciated.
Thank you, Melanie. Thank you. I just realized I'm looking at that logo and I'm looking at the shirt, and it kind of looks like my shirt belongs to my bank or something like that.
I love the cohesive colors.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being here. And so for everyone who is still watching, I just wanted to let you know that you can go to www.pmahcc.org, and right up there at the top, there will be a thing where you can click it and sign up so that we can send you an email when the portal does open. As a reminder, this is to apply for the PPP loan. And what it is we are working with Customers Bank to have a streamlined application process that will walk you right through it. It'll make sure that everything is completed and give you the best shot at qualifying, applying, and receiving the loan. So I want to thank you all for watching today. The Latino Pittsburgh Digital Speaker Series is an initiative of the Pittsburgh Metropolitan Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Its goals are to share relevant information, inspire growth, and foster opportunity. Speakers include community leaders and members, as well as other individuals who have a positive impact on not only the Hispanic community, but the whole Pittsburgh region. Thank you guys for tuning in. And in a few weeks, we will send you an email. The SBA will be coming in and answering questions about this loan. And in the meantime, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.